Yeah, we can start in the tomato jungle. They are out of control in here. Oh my goodness. Hi everybody, welcome to the farm tour mid-season here in the greenhouse. I'm Rob McNeish for the North Grove. In the greenhouse here right now, we are full tilt. I got some tomatoes that are pretty big. Any day now we'll get some ripe ones. These are black cherries, and you call them a plum. That's pretty big for a cherry tomato. We're gonna be tying these up to our ceiling in the greenhouse. Eventually this whole thing will be like a canopy almost. You'll be able to walk into it like very much like a jungle. We've just done a big feed of our tomatoes, and we're gonna be giving them some seaweed fertilizer. That'll set them right for the rest of the season pretty much. And we're doing a lot of watering because it's been so hot this week. And I'm really hot right now. It's probably, oh, what does it say over here? We're pushing 35, 36, almost 40 in here. Yeah, pretty hot. So we don't want to stand in here for very long. Try to do all my work in the greenhouse in the mornings. So we'll come over here. We've got our flower boxes this year. Our sunflowers are getting really tall. These are Russian mammoths, and they get about 10 feet. They probably get up to about here, and they're really intimidating. So they're pretty big. And then we've also got our calendula. We seed saved this from last year, and you can eat the petals. And we'll harvest these and dry them, and we'll put them in stuff like banana bread, or you can take the fresh petals and we put them on, like you can put them on a cupcake even, put it on the icing, really beautiful stuff. Moving through here, our standing bean patch, got lots of flowers. This is a variety called Royal Burgundy. So there are these nice purple flowers. 2 weeks from now, we'll be swimming in beans. Same thing over here, we got our pole beans that we're gonna have to re-trellis again because I didn't get poles that were tall enough. You can see them, these ones are gonna crawl up another 2 or 3 feet. We got lots of beets. We've been harvesting lots of peas lately. Coming off these, I've got 4 or 5 patches. Really tasty ones. Oh yeah, it doesn't get better than that. Over here, we've got a fresh bed of beans that we just planted. So here in the summer, not a lot you can really get away with planting midsummer, but beans and beets is one of the things that we're keeping up. We're basically planting every 2 weeks. George was out here this morning and harvested a ton, and not literally a ton, but he did harvest about 140 pounds of zucchini this morning. We've given all of these guys another feeding of some chicken manure. They will be happy here for the next couple of days. We're gonna do some watering this evening again. There we go. Look at that. Yeah, beets are gonna come out this week too. We've got some really nice ones here. Oh yeah, nice little size beet there. Now when you eat beets, a lot of people just eat the bottoms, but the beet greens are just as good, just like spinach almost. You can just saute them in some butter and garlic, salt and pepper, nothing better. Zucchinis will scratch you. They have little spikes on their leaves and on their stems, and they just kind of, harvesting can be dangerous. You want to wear long sleeves. You don't want to be wearing shorts like I am when you're getting in here. Oh. Now that's the thing with zucchinis is they get away on you, and you miss one like this, and then a week later it's the size of your head. So this one is, some people call it a Kousa squash, or it possibly could be a vegetable marrow is another name for it. Really beautiful little summer squash zucchini. Now our garlic, we pulled the scapes almost a month ago now it seems. And we've got the tips are nice and brown. That's a good sign. Usually some people wait for the outer layers of the leaves to really turn brown. These ones, a couple of the bottom ones will start turning brown, but that's a full-on garlic. I think we could start harvesting these soon enough. Maybe even next week. We could harvest those. Beautiful garlic. We seed saved half of our garlic, so we basically saved our garlic from last year. We pulled it the same time this time last year. Let it cure in the greenhouse. We'll tie these up in bunches of 10 and let them hang out for 2, 3, 4 weeks. Nice air circulation. They dry out a little bit, called curing. And then in October, around Halloween, I like to plant garlic. Kind of spooky, you know, keep the vampires away. We'll break these apart. We won't peel them, and we'll plant all these bulbs. So we did that with half of our garlic this year, and then we bought the rest of our seed garlic. But these look really beautiful. Our raspberry patches, you know, we planted these 2, 3, 4 years ago, some of them, and they're finally really coming into their own. And you can see how many berries are right here. And these berries border most of our farm, and I call it the edible border. We had the perimeter planted with these take me boxes that we were planting vegetables in, and these berries are part of it. You're more than welcome to come by the farm, and any of the berries up by the edge, come harvest them. They are peak right now. Like just, oh man. And we've got some currants over here. We'll go check those out. Really good. A little tedious to pick currants, but you can get a nice little handful after a couple seconds. Again, nice and sour. My grape jam. Oh yeah, they got a little seed in them too. I'll eat those. Right next to this, sour cherry bush. Nice little red berry. Definitely a cherry. Definitely sour. So we had some folks out here yesterday harvesting, and we harvested about 8 or 9 pounds of berries, and we still have tons more to harvest. And I'm probably gonna make a jam that we'll have inside. I might be able to give out at some point or something. Lots of flowers on the farm are blooming. Seeing lots more bees on the farm this week because of all of our flowers. Lots of really nice lilies that we've got here. So on the farm, each of our farm rows here has a perennial plant. A perennial, often it's a flower, and we call those the bed ends. Took this idea from Common Roots Urban Farm and Back to Our Roots Urban Farm. It's a really great way to mix in some flowers into your vegetable patches, and then it brings pollinators right into where you want them pollinating. Lots of different flowers that are blooming at different times of the year. Our lamb's ear is blooming right now, and I'm seeing tons of little wasps and bees and some of the solitary pollinators, because bees aren't the only thing that do pollination. There's a lot of wild bees, solitary bees, bumblebees even, and even some flies will pollinate, some certain types of flies. So lots of activity right in here. And then we're also able to pick some of these flowers and give them away as well. So we're looking at expanding our rows a little bit, increasing our grow space just a bit by having a little less path, and that'll help us grow a little bit more food, and that'll also help us with our water management. So we haven't had a lot of rain in the last little while. It's been really hot, so it's really important that we're able to manage our water on the farm properly and conserve water as much as we can. And our rows are really thin right now, and they dry out quicker, especially where we're nice and windy up here. The wind will even pull off a lot of moisture out of our farm. So if we have wider rows, they won't dry out as fast, and we'll get some more harvest out of them. So we started that process. It does take a little while to kind of measure and manage and move all the dirt around, but by the end of the season, we're hoping to have all of our rows redone for next year. So let's go take a look at the harvest indoors. George did a lot of hard work this morning, and I think we should show it off a little bit. And we'll be handing a bunch of this stuff out next week, along with some beets, hopefully. These long cucumbers. So the skin gets really thick on these ones, and you kind of have to peel them when they're like this. See how dark they get. That's why they call them a blonde, and then this is where I like them at. Really nice and just turning. Skin's still nice and tender. The seeds aren't really big inside, but definitely these ones have a lot more meat on them, but you scoop out the seeds and peel them, and they're just great. And then these long ones that we've got are really nice slices for salads. You could even do really nice pickles if you wanted to with this. And are some of our berries, I forgot to mention. Gooseberries. Anyone from Newfoundland will know gooseberry jam. And we'll clean these up and make a nice little sauce with them. And that's our harvest. Probably, like I said, we got 100 and some odd pounds of zucchini and about 30 or 40 pounds of cucumber there. And we'll probably see as much, if not more than this in the weeks coming. It seems like it almost doubles every week up until about end of August. Great, here we are in front of our really nice flower garden here. Looks beautiful. I encourage you to come by and take a look. Thanks for joining us this week on the farm, and we'll see you in another couple of weeks.